Hey, how's everybody doing? This is All Sports Talk Show. I'm back. Yeah, this is not gonna be too long. This one's gonna be like 25 minutes. Cause right now I'm recording this on Monday afternoon, and I was gonna do this morning, but then the whole story came out about uh, the Raiders possibly moving to Las Vegas, which now it's breaking news to me, but when this video gets uploaded, it's not gonna be breaking news. But yeah, it just announced 31-1. That was the vote. Uh, the Raiders are moving to Las Vegas, I guess. The Dolphins were the only team that I haven't seen the reason why. It's still brand new, so I have no idea why the Dolphins are the team that just declined it. I don't know if they had like actual reason behind. But I don't know. Well, I guess we'll figure out eventually why the Dolphins didn't want the Raiders to be moving to Las Vegas. I don't know if there was an external reason or if there was something within the organization or the owner just didn't had like relations or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, big story. I've been waiting to record this because I was gonna record this this morning, and then I heard about the Raiders, and I was like, okay, I'm free after this, so in the afternoon, so I can record it in the afternoon if anything happens. So it did, so it works. Uh, so yeah, I'm back. I took a little hiatus, 1 week. I had my spring break. I had my spring break last week. Well, not last week. 2 weeks ago, I had my spring break, and then I meant to record this on the 24th. And then a lot of things started popping up, so now I'm here on the 27th. This is gonna be. I was really planning on doing this doing the MLB one, or MLB spring training one right now, but I'm not sure. I don't know. The Raiders, it's really not that. I think I can talk about the Raiders a little bit, but outside of that, I don't know. Like, the only thing I can really talk about the Raiders is how it's going to affect the NFL, but it's not going to really affect it that much. Moving to Oakland, Las Vegas, I think it's a good move just because I think Las Vegas has a good market, and it's like one of the first, like, professional teams outside of, professional leagues have a team in Las Vegas, except for NHL, which is expanding to them next year, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's that bad. It's not like a negative thing. Oakland is. I think Oakland is tapped out. I don't know. I just think it's a good move for. I think it's a good move for the Raiders. A lot of fans are gonna be disappointed, but it's not that far of a move. I mean, it is, but it's not like you're moving one state over. But I don't know. So yeah, yeah, that's all I really have for that. Um, Other big stories. Okay, we can get into. We'll do some NBA stuff first before I get into the MLB. Well, before I get into MLB, let's talk about the Cavs a little bit. So yeah, as you probably know, Cavs lost last night, and they've slowly. And when I say slowly, I mean very quickly. Dropped down the. They've dropped very quickly the standings, and I don't mean drop, but they've lost traction and for that number one seed, and now they're tied with the Celtics with 2 games at hand. So the Cavs have 2 games at hand against the Celtics, but still, I don't know. And like looking at the schedules, it's not that hard to see why people think the Celtics are gonna have a better chance. I mean, the Cavs have a much more difficult schedule going down the line. I mean, there's that pivotal matchup that they have to play against the Celtics later on, but the Celtics have an extremely easy schedule. Like they play I think it's like the toughest like opponent that they have really left. Like they have Milwaukee. They, I know they have Milwaukee. They have Minnesota. They have the Cavs left. The Cavs are the big team. But other than that, other than the Cavaliers matchup, the only really difficult game they have left against a team that's close, like even like in the playoff picture is they have go against the Hawks, the Hornets, the Bucks twice. Then they have Magic, Knicks, Hornets and Nets. So I mean, it's really not like it's a favorable schedule for the Celtics. So I see them going out the number one seed. I can see it why a lot of people think that. I'm not sure because I know the Cavs later tonight, which I'll be watching. They have playing against the Spurs later tonight, and then they have that matchup with the Celtics. They have a pretty rough schedule. On Thursday they have to go to Chicago, play against Chicago. Even though they're struggling, they brought up a good point with how uh, I think it's like Chicago's like has like some ungodly win streak at home when they're playing on TNT. I know it's like a weird win streak, but there's like a lot of things, like a lot of factors going into one. But I don't know. And then they have Pacers and the Celtics, Hawks twice, Miami, Toronto. Like that's how they finish out the season. That's a pretty hefty schedule, especially with LeBron probably resting at least one of those games. I wouldn't be surprised if he rested during either the Miami game or one of the Hawks games toward the end of the season, or even one of the easier games like the 76ers or Magic or something like that. But yeah, so big thing with the NBA is Cavs losing number one seed, or looks like they're going to. And the Celtics, that would be interesting. I always thought the Celtics were the one team that. I mean, so did everybody else. Everybody thought the Celtics were the one team that would give the Cavs a run for their money, with at the top of the at the top of at the top of the Eastern Conference. I thought they were the only team that'd really give them trouble. I don't know, with how it's shaping up, it doesn't. It looks pretty good. Like it looks like there's not really much else that's gonna happen, especially if Cleveland ends up in that second spot, because I don't see Toronto. I don't see Toronto knocking off Boston, and frankly, I don't see. I mean, I think Washington would be an interesting matchup with Cleveland in the second round, but yeah, I don't think it doesn't look very good. But like with how it stands right now, you have you have three teams that are really in the running for the eighth seed right now. The last spot in the eighth seed with Miami, Chicago, and Detroit, all separated by at the most one game. Miami's sitting in eighth right now with at 12.5 games back. Chicago with 13 and Detroit 13.5. So I think Miami ends up getting that spot. I mean, they've been hot, or they had that really nice stretch down the line, but where they actually got themselves back. But there's no way. I mean, you have Indiana at 7, Indiana or Milwaukee at 7-6, and same thing with Atlanta. Atlanta, Milwaukee, and Indiana all have the same games back, so they're all 10.5 games back. So that could just flip either way. I don't think any of those teams will give Boston or Washington any trouble in the first round, or Toronto for that matter. I think Atlanta might give Toronto a little bit of problems, and maybe even Washington. Atlanta's the only team that I see really giving problems. Milwaukee's gonna steal a game probably. Milwaukee against Toronto, that'd be an interesting matchup. I'd watch that. That'd be a good one. But yeah, Western Conference. There's really not that much going on with Western Conference. Like, to be honest, there's not much to talk about with the Western Conference playoffs. You have Portland and Denver fighting for that last spot, both at 24 games back. But outside of that, everything's basically set. Like there are some things that could flip. Like Golden State's pretty surely got that number one seed. San Antonio's 2.5 games back, and they are good. I think that's 5.5 games ahead of Houston for the third spot. Houston's locked into 3 basically. Utah and Clippers are the only one that's really close. Like they're 1 game apart, but that doesn't really matter. Like all it matters is the seeding, or who's gonna get that home court advantage to begin the series. And then OKC, 17.5. They're kind of stuck into 6 as well. I mean, they're 1.5 both ways. Memphis is stuck at 7 basically. But yeah, Western Conference. So NBA playoffs then. Okay, so or just kind of not postseason, but like predictions for like MVP and stuff like that. MVP, you know, as an OKC fan, I really want to say Russell Westbrook. Like I really do. But I gotta give it to James Harden. Like he's been phenomenal. Like I didn't think he had any of this in him when I heard that D'Antoni was moving into point guard. I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. Like it's gonna be fun to watch this because it's not gonna go over well because it's just not because they just I think last year was the year that they just did not have a good year. In the last few seasons it had been a little disappointing, but maybe it wasn't last year. No, last year was the year that they made it to. Yeah, never mind, never mind. They were the 8th seed last year. Yeah, that's the year I was talking about. Because then the year before that, they made it to the conference finals. I remember them coming back against the Clippers and Clippers fans freaking out because they couldn't get past the second round again. But still, uh, yeah, James Harden for MVP. I don't really see how that could. I don't think it's going to change that much. I think Russell Westbrook will. I mean, it's Russell Westbrook's going to end with a triple double probably. And if you don't believe me, then go look it up. He's got to average like 6 rebounds and like 7 assists to like a game for his like next like the last like 8 or 9 games or whatever it is to finish the season with a triple double. So yeah, that's not really much. Still going with I'm still going with Golden State and Golden State and Cleveland again for the finals. I think it'll be interesting. I think you have to wait and see uh, how Golden State adapts. I think they'll be fine though. Once they get Durant back, I think it'll be interesting to see how quickly they reinsert him into the lineup or reinsert him back into the system and how quickly he comes back. Because even when he got hurt that one year I know it's a completely different injury, but when he got hurt when he got hurt for the season a couple of seasons ago for OKC, he took his when he came back, he was not the same until he wasn't the same for the rest of the season even the next season. He wasn't like the same until he started actually getting back out there and started playing more and more and more. But yeah, I see Golden State against Cavs. I see Golden State, Houston, Western Conference, Celtics, Cavs, Eastern Conference. Honestly, the dark horses for me are, I think the dark horse in each conference are the 3 seeds. Actually, well, okay, I don't think Houston can count as a dark horse, but I see Utah as being a dark horse kind of in the Western Conference. A lot of factors have to go right, like a lot of them. And Washington is a dark horse for me as well with Eastern Conference because a lot of people are still doubting them, even though they're like good. Even Indiana, I think Indiana might if they can jump into that. I think any of those teams, except for Atlanta, I don't have that much faith in Atlanta. But Indiana and Milwaukee, I think if they play against Toronto or Washington for that matter, I think they could get. I think if they win that first round matchup, they could. I think first round, Indiana and Milwaukee will be the 2 teams that will force to get into late situations or like game 6, game 7, stuff like that. But yeah, my dark horse finals is Celtics. It was Celtics Rockets. Not Jazz though. I'm not going that far. Even if Utah gets out of, somehow, they have to think about the teams they have to beat. They have to beat LA, then they'd have to beat Golden State, then they'd have to beat either Houston or San Antonio. That'd be a lot. And then they'd have to beat Cleveland or Boston. Oh my god. That would be quite the run though. I'll give it to them. They would be very well deserving of that championship if they did. Alright, moving on. Man, I said this was gonna be the MLB one. Okay. And I lied. Yeah, all right. Uh, Actually, I might hold off on the MLB spring training one because I'm probably gonna record this on Friday again. Uh, yeah, I'm probably gonna record this on Friday, so I'm gonna hold off on the MLB thing. We can talk a little bit more though. We can talk about something else though for a little bit until I have to, because I've got about like 10 more minutes of this, and then I'll have to sign off for a bit or until next time. So let's just figure this out for right now. Yeah. So let's talk about March Madness now. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Like, I have to apologize if any Kentucky fans are listening, or any Kentucky fan listens to this, because wow. I mean, that was brilliant. That was a great game to watch Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky battled back too. Like, they were down, not big, but they were down to the end of the first. At the end of the first, then they were kind of still down after that. It was fun because then, like, once Malik Monk took that shot, or like let go of that shot, I was like, this has to go in, because there's been, I mean, it hasn't been a boring March Madness. Like, it's been a really exciting, like, March Madness. Like, I kind of like the March Madnesses where my team goes out like kind of early, or like my championship team goes out early, so I can actually like sit there and enjoy like the whole thing. Like, I can actually sit here and be like, wow. So or I can actually sit here and enjoy all the upsets because I don't have to worry about my losing money, because I already know I'm going to lose money anyway. But yeah, yeah, big things. The South Carolina. Oh my God. I mean, they're just ripping through right now. They're going, they're going for it. Like, they're not. I was expecting them to. I I found myself rooting for them more and more and more as like the week went on. Like, when they started beating Baylor, I was like, okay. But Baylor's not. I was kind of expecting them to beat Baylor. Like, I was like, okay, they're on a roll. Like, if I'm kind of expecting Baylor, I wasn't expecting, but I thought it was pretty possible that they would beat Baylor. But then Florida was like, okay, Florida just came off a huge win, buzzer beating win. I would have liked to see Wisconsin against South Carolina, but then again, South Carolina and Florida was still entertaining. Oregon was my shock team. I was not expecting that. When I had Oregon, I had them losing. I think I had them not even making it to the Sweet 16. I had URI beating them, which almost happened. I was so close. If you watched that URI game, oh, that was frustrating. Or if you URI Oregon game, that was frustrating for me, because it was literally just, I thought I had it, and then I was like, this is my one upset where I was like, yes, I got it. Finally, it took me a long time. It took me all those years. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering which team I picked Arizona. So, yeah, I was watching that game too. I was watching it when he missed the go-ahead shot, or not go-ahead, but tying shot, or go-ahead. I don't even remember at this point. It's been so long. Against Xavier. Gonzaga and UNC. Gonzaga, I wasn't really surprised. I kind of knew they were underdog. The Gonzaga West Virginia game, I'm just gonna go back like as far as like, I'm gonna keep looking at this bracket. I'm gonna keep talking about it. Gonzaga West Virginia game, that was, I don't even know if I have to talk about like the last shot. I don't even know if I have to, because it was like the kid tried to be a hero. Like, that poor kid, the point guard, tried to be a hero. Like, he was just trying to find a shot, and he took three. Like, he was. I mean, he didn't take the third one, but he passed it. But I mean, it was too late anyway. But like, he was trying to be the hero, and it just wasn't working for him. Like, he had to give it up. And like, when that possession started, I'm pretty sure that they had like a whole shot. Like, they had a shot clock too, so it was like they had more than 30 seconds to like go get a two, and then foul, and then hope that Gonzaga missed one or something along the line. Play the free throw game. I don't know. But yeah, outside of that, um, UCLA game, not much to talk about. Yeah, big upsets other than I enjoyed this March Madness. I've been enjoying it so far. I enjoy having, some teams you weren't expecting, like South Carolina wasn't. You weren't. I didn't even have. I don't know. I think I had them getting out of the first round against Marquette, but obviously not against Duke. Duke was my Final Four team, I think, and a lot of mine. Kansas was a little shocking. Kansas, I was like, how are they losing to Oregon? When Oregon lost their center, I don't remember what his name was, but then they lost him. I was like, oh wow, that's why I picked URI. And then I thought Michigan was gonna beat them. I was excited because I was like, Michigan, let's go. And then Michigan lost, and I was like, okay, well, this is fun. Yeah, but yeah, March Madness has been fun this year. I've been excited. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So yeah, I don't know. Well, it's been a fun March Madness. I've had fun watching it. The last few years I haven't had too much fun watching it because I had money on it, and it's like okay, like like it's more stressful than it is fun to watch when you know you have money like on it. So like when you like if if it's more fun to like enjoy like the upsets and stuff like that when you know like, you're gonna like you don't have money on it, like it's no you don't have a chance of losing money because you already freaking lost it. Yeah. So yeah, aside of that, honestly, I'm done for right now. Yeah. So yeah, breaking news. Raiders move to Las Vegas. NBA Cavs lose top seed against the Celtics. Looks like the Celtics are gonna take it. And spring training is coming to an end. Red Sox. Red Sox, let's go. Oh, and anybody who plays PS4 and are sports fans, obviously if you're listening to this, you should be a sports fan. MLB The Show, let's go. Comes out later tonight. Let's go. Please download that on download that tonight, and then I'll be playing it all tomorrow. Because I only have one class tomorrow, and then I'm basically done. But I might be going out tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see what I'm doing. All right. So yeah, next time I'll be talking to you on Friday. I'll do Friday, cause I'll be going home Friday, but I'll have time before to like record and stuff like that. I won't be picked up until later. And even if I do, even if I get picked up, I'm just gonna sit in the car and do it. And I can have, you know, because I think my dad will be in there. So I'll just have his input as well. I might have a dual input with him. But yeah, that's basically it. We'll do spring training next time, and anything that happens within then, to, any reactions to Oakland, the Raiders going to Las Vegas, and NBA stuff, but it'll be mostly spring training. I might just make it solely spring training, just so, and it'll be spring training, or it'll be like regular season, like predictions. I'll go through like each division, who I think is gonna win each division, and then I'll give my playoff predictions, because then we can go back to this in October, and I can push your faces in it, or I can tell you all I told you so when I call the championship, basically. So yeah, that's gonna do it. This will be uploaded, but you'll have it. But I'm recording this at 3:50. It's 3:15, and I have a class at 3:30. But I'll let you. Oh, I'm gonna go. So this will be uploaded later. I'll upload this later. Probably be up by 5:30ish, 6. I don't know. I'll let it go though. So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you guys next time.